Oh boy, now we're gonna go fast. Really fast. Oh, we're gonna go faster. Oh boy. I barely can raid these things. I got bosses everywhere. Let's do that one. I don't know. And we'll put that one in. Oh, and another buff. Nice. I'll take that and that. And how fast can we go now? We're just spinning, having a good... Oh, more. More buffs. I'll take them. I'll take that one. And I'll take that and that. Ooh, can we open this thing up? Oh, sure. Not. Why not? Nice. We'll take that Screaming Invitation. And... oh my gosh, there's all kinds of stuff. This is easy. Too easy. Cool. Oh, nice. Let's go find the boss. And, oh, plateau map. Nice. I'll take that and that. And the boss is right over here. Oh, he's right in here. Let's go crush him. It's these guys. These guys can actually hit back pretty hard there. Not too bad. Done. Pretty cool. And how much are these going for right now? Like 18, 20 chaos. Not bad. And then all that other loot. Nice. Alright, let's get into the episode. Hello and welcome back to Path of Exile, Necropolis League. This is episode 2 of the Cyclone of Tumult Slayer build guide. Episode 1 went over the flasks, so I'll bring those up. And you can check out episode 1 to see how to either buy or craft. You could actually craft these as well. Nice armor flask. You could do a consecration flask here with a 40% increased damage if you don't want to do the extra armor. And you just go like that. That's going to be our Quicksilver automated flasks. They fire off all the time. And there's the Diamond flask. And the Onslaught. Nice. Let's go over to the gems. Alright, let's start off with the Cyclone of Tumult gem. And that one's going to be a level 21, but it got an extra +1 from the level global modifier. And that came from this amulet here with the +1 to all physical skill gems. So that's why that's +21. And let's pull this down here and take a look at it. If we hold Alt, it's a quality 20. So I've used the Gem Cutter's Prison to quality up the gem to 5%. 5% more attack speed per stage. So this goes up to 6 stages as you fire it up. Well, that's 30% more multiplier in total, which is huge. It's a anytime you see increase, that's okay. It's like an increase off the base, and it's not, the math doesn't work out as well. But if you see a more multiplier, that's just a flat out 30% more. It's just really, really huge. So definitely get your gems, or all your skill gems and everything, the ones that matter, up to 20%. You'll see that I should, or I think I have. So let's put that back in. This pulverized gem, it actually, let's take a look at I hold down Alt, and it increases the area of effect even more. So I'm up to, what is that, 44%, and then there's more melee damage, but the attack speed gets slowed down there, and that's a less multiplier. For me, I don't mind the extra. I wanted the extra area. I didn't mind a little bit less attack speed there. I can make up for it with this. But then, yeah, I like that. You could also go with an infused channeling support instead of this. And that'll actually help. If you read through it, it'll help with taking less damage while you're channeling, all that kind of stuff too. But I'm not really taking too much fizz damage. I'm in good shape versus that. And the quality on this one does the extra supported 0.4 seconds. Nice. Per quality, so I probably maybe 5 seconds. It's pretty cool. So we've got Cyclone of Tumult with pulverized, qualitied up. Then we go to Fortify. That's how I get my Fortify stacks up, and it just helps with defense, and I get a more damage multiplier as well. And the quality on that one does supported skills, increase fortification duration, meaning, as you're going along, you're hitting stuff, getting fortified. Well, there might be a gap, running up to the next creatures, and that'll help it last a little bit longer. And then we go over here. There's the regular version of this is called melee physical damage, and one of the main differences is, see that line where it says supported skills have 10% chance to intimidate for 4 seconds? And if we hold down Alt, it'll explain what intimidate does. Ooh, kind of. They take 10% increased damage. That's not a more multiplier, but it's a chunk more damage. Additional damage, not more damage. You could use the regular one, but it won't have that line, and it'll be about 5% less damage overall. So these are kind of expensive. Let's find out how much a 2020 or a level 5. You can also get a level 6 one, which are like, I think, 7 divine. Let's find out. These are 2, and the level 6 I think are probably 7 divine, but they only add a little bit more damage. So really getting into the min-max, so I went with a level 5. Then on here, faster attacks, pretty straightforward, nothing special about it. And then the 10% from the quality, it gets the quality up to a total of 54% increased attack speed. So I use that one. But again, you could swap, if you felt like it, you could swap any of these out, maybe put infused channeling. There's a few different ways you could do it, but I like doing it this way. And then for the last one, we have brutality support. Now this is an important one. I've made sure that my weapon doesn't do any extra elemental damage and everything, because I want to focus on physical damage. But this thing, it says supported skills, meaning this one, do no chaos damage and no what do you call it? Elemental damage. But because of that, we get a big multiplier to our physical damage, 44%. Not only that, this is the awakened version of brutality support, not the regular version, and it's a level 5. I think it caps out at 5, and then you could corrupt it to 6. But I'm happy with that again because the price goes up quite a bit. But this one actually gains supported skills have a 10% chance to crush enemies for 4 seconds on hit. And I hit so often that I'm crushing and intimidating those creatures quite often. And that's a reduction, a physical damage reduction by 15% for 4 seconds. Lowers their physical damage reduction. Nice. And then we get the increase, for the quality, we get the 10% increased physical damage. So that goes over this. And I'm just going to toss that one on the ground. That one covers, so now we've covered the Cyclone setup that I use. Let's go on to the next one. I get quite a few questions about how to, keep moving quickly with, what do you call it, Cyclone of Tumult, because it slows you down and everything. Well, I'm going to show you, one of the things is I went with the boots. And the boots, that 4% increased action speed that I roll on there, and I'll go over the equipment in the next episode, but that's a nice implicit to get on there. But then I've got 30%, let me turn this off, 30% movement speed, and then 12% increased movement speed if I haven't been hit recently. And I don't mind that, so it's a total of 42, and then another 4% action speed, so I'm in good shape with these boots. And I like them, and I needed some dexterity on there. But anyways, let's go to the, let's show you how to automate the speed, this thing that just automated and helps me move faster. Okay, let's go over the new automation gem and how I set it up. What I've got it over here at level 20 and the quality up to 20, because then it helps with the cooldown of this automation gem and the things connected to it, I hope. But it's only 5% increased cooldown recovery rate. But I've got it over here. This thing will cost a lot of mana, so I've also tied it to life tap at level 1. I'm actually not sure if I should level this up. It's working as is. I could level it up. I've just never tried this interaction, and I haven't got around to testing it out with a higher one. But it takes automation. I put the level 1 gem in there, so it moves, instead of everything costing mana, it just takes away from this. And my regen is fast enough, so it doesn't really matter. As you get more and more health and your regen percentage goes up, you're in good shape there. And then I just toggle it on and off. I toggle, like in my hideout, I turn it off because I don't want to hear the automation sound. But then when I'm out in the field, I turn it on. And it's tied to these. I use Steel Skin instead of Molten Shell for a few reasons. But I think Molten Shell might reflect the elemental damage. I never tested that. I've been using Steel Skin for so long. It removes bleeds when it gets fired off, so that's nice. So I haven't even cared about a bleed at all. Corrupting blood I get rid of a different way, and we'll show you later. I'm immune to corrupted blood. So bleeds I get rid of this way, so I don't really care about the bleeds. And again, 20% or 10% increased cooldown recovery from the from the quality. That does that, and it it provides a nice 2200 shield. It's nice. I like this one. Withering Step gives you elusiveness. I didn't quality this up. I don't care anything up. I don't really care about anything else on here except for the elusiveness buff, because that gives you a 30% increased movement speed that drains, and also we get a little bit of a 15% chance to avoid all damage from hits. And that goes down to 0%. So at first when you turn it on, it'll go, when it procs and it fires this off, it'll give you a big boost, but then it just slowly goes down, but then it fires right back up again. Phase Run, same reason. I'm using it for the speed boost of phasing. There's a boost on there on the movement speed. There we go. Buff grants 40% increased movement speed, and then that'll fade off as well. Also, this is tied to blink spells, so it shares a cooldown with blinks, so I can't use like a frost blink. I have to use a leap slam to get around, if at all. And then that's a 5 link. So we have a 6 link here, this is a 5 link, and this extra gem spot, I just put a Val Haste in there. And all I use it for is an extra boost to damage, a little bit of movement speed, whenever I feel like. If I come to some kind of tough boss, I just go, oh, and I press that, and I get a little boost of damage. Nice. So let's go to the next thing. I have a level 1, and I kept it at level 1, a cast when damage taken support. And what this does is, I could even tie something else and get rid of Val Haste and kind of tie it in, but make sure it's not linked if you're going to do, like this and this can't be linked. Otherwise it'll up the cost of your mark on hit, so I've made sure to not link them. This is tied to so this basically says, hey, when I take some damage, and it says how much damage. It's very little, like, I don't know, 500 damage. This is going to fire off. And it's a level 1, so I wanted it to fire off because all I really care about on this is the 25% chance to gain a frenzy charge when an enemy dies while in the area of this cold snap. So this fires this off, and it fires up frenzy charges, which makes my phasing last longer if it happens to fire off when I have the frenzy charges, and then they recharge and I get more benefits of having frenzy charges, only up to like 3. So that's one way I get the frenzy charges right there. And then this one is the Assassin's Mark. This is a mark on hit, and all it does is help me get power charges. Cursed enemies have a 5% chance because I've qualityed this up to 20, and so it gives a 5% chance to grant a power charge when hit. And they get hit a lot. I do a lot of hits, so I get power charges up to 3 quite often. So power charges help with, like, I think it's a 50% multiplier per power charge, so we're up to 150% on those, and my base is 350, so we're up to 500, and then it goes beyond. There's other ways it improves beyond that as well. So we get a lot of damage from this little combo when things start to really go off. So it's mark on hit, a level 20, and then this one, Assassin's Mark, I just keep it at level 1 because see our mana right there at 49. If I hold down control, where's Assassin's Mark? It takes 32 mana to cast. It doesn't actually use the 32 mana. It just has to have it available. So if you don't have that available, if you hover over this and it says something like 58 and you only have 49, this thing will not fire off at all. So you got to have that available. And I learned the hard way because I had it tied together, and this cast when damage multiplier, the 250% multiplier, multiplied that out, and all of a sudden it was like 80 or something, some big number, and it wasn't working. I'm like, why aren't I getting power charges? And that was why. It was linked. Nice. Now let's go over the buffs that I use. We're going to start off with, I just throw this one on here. It's a War Banner. It's level 20. What's the benefit of qualitying this up? Oh, it's 10% increased area of effect. I don't really need that. I could, if I drop it, I just don't even drop this thing. I could drop it on the ground and you get a bunch of benefits from it, but I forget to pick it up too often, and then I don't have it running. But if you have it on you, it has some kind of base stuff on. So let's see if I turn this off. Let's see what it does. And we'll pick it back up. And let's see if I can turn it off. There we go. I just run with this on. I shouldn't pay more attention and figure this thing out, but you can drop it down and then it gives you a lot of boost. But then I also use Blood and Sand. Blood and Sand in the blood form, it makes your AoE a little bit smaller but more powerful. And then if you use the other version, it's a bigger AoE but a little less powerful. So the AoE on this thing is so good. I always run in what do you call it? Blood stance. Because then this one, it's a little bigger. We're going up, if we look up, it's up there by June Master. It's right to her, up to the M and everything. And we compare it, goes down to just down to her head versus the M in Master. So I'm fine with that. And let's take a look at the other one. So we have War Banner, Blood and Sand. Precision helps with crits, but I have it at level 17. I could reduce this if you need some mana back, because that costs 159 mana. If you need some mana back, you can just scour off a level. You can trade it in with the vendor with a scouring gem. It'll go down to level 16, and then maybe that'll be enough mana to get you over the edge with your with the mark, stuff like that. And then lastly, we have Purity of Elements, and it's also quality up to 20% because we get an extra +5 to all elements. So these are the auras I use. I could improve these, and I may dig more into it and get a better one. But we have Purity of Elements, Precision, Blood and Sand, and the War Banner. Nice. And because this build is not socket starved, it's not starved for sockets, you can really mess around and have a good time with all these other ones. You don't have to have Vel Haste, so that's one you don't need. You need an Ancestral Protector. That's a big boost. And mine's at 20%, about to hit level 20. It's a big boost. It's worth it to have it, but you can connect anything you want to it. I've connected life gain on hit, and then I have Leap Slam with life gain on hit. I used to have Leap Slam with faster attacks mixed in here. Like I could move this Vengeance. I would like to have a fifth link here, but Vengeance with life gain on hit. So if you're just standing there, you're not paying attention, some little creature comes up, Vengeance pops off, and it also does a nice 44 life gain per hit to everything to everything around it too. The life gain on hit being tied to that just makes it so my Ancestral Protector heals itself instantly, so it doesn't die, or rarely dies. It's not fun when you drop it and it dies in half the time. So that's kind of just a convenience thing. You can set this thing up any way you want. You really can. You're going to have 5 extra sockets to play with. I went with Leap Slam, Ancestral Protector, life gain on hit, and Vengeance. You could get rid of this and go with faster attacks to improve that. You could get rid of Leap Slam if you're just doing delves, because you really don't need Leap Slam down there. So you could have an Ancestral Protector, melee, extra melee damage, brutality on it, and faster attacks, and turn that thing into a juggernaut. Or with Ancestral Call with splash damage and really turn your Ancestral Protector totem into a juggernaut by itself and have some fun. But I just roll with that. So you've got a lot of leeway. These are important. This is really useful to do its damage. The Assassin's Mark, a mark on hit. The Cold Snap just tied to cast when damage taken helps with the power charges. I'm sorry, frenzy charges. Here's the buffs, and you can go back to at any time. Precision. There we go. Pretty easy stuff. This is really important to set up correctly, though. I'll do this trade. I'll put the path of building down below, and the next episode we're going to be going over gear. We also have to go over the passive tree, and then also the Atlas tree. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next episode. I know there's not much action in this one, but we just went over all the gems. Cool. And I hope I, went slowly over the gems. I'll go slowly so you can stop if you have to look at it. I'll just do each one. Purity of Elements, Precision, Blood and Sand, War Banner, nice. And then we have Cyclone of Tumult, Pulverize. Sorry, guys. Sometimes if I'm watching a video, I'm like, please slow down. And I'm like, there we go. And that one. And that one. And then you can pause if you want to take a look at it. And up at the top for Leap Slam. And these are optional. That's not really optional. Life gain on hit, just convenience. The good thing about this build is it's not starved for sockets. There's 5 that you can play around with, really. This is an important one, though. Automation with Life Tap. Uses all this. And then Steel Skin for the guard skill, automated. Withering Step, and Phase Run. Have a good one, and enjoy.